Hey, good morning, students from NT 5105 Romans. I wanted to address an issue that we had in class yesterday that I thought was a really good question. Jen had asked, when we look at Romans 6:12, we see the article ta in front of the infinitive, and then we see autou. And the question is, what do those refer to? Do they refer back to he hamartia? So let me address each of them in turn. First off, this is a great question because you always have to think about concord in Greek, and you've got that neuter singular article. You have the either masculine or neuter genitive pronoun in autou. So it just begs the question what they're referring to. And since he hamartia is feminine, that's a great question. So let me talk first about the article. When an infinitive is substantized, it will take the article and it will be neuter. So we should only think of this article as structurally identifying the infinitive as substantival. The fact that it's neuter doesn't really matter, doesn't really change anything, do anything to the sense. It's really a structural, functional use of the article to make the infinitive into a noun so that it can then be the object of the preposition, which then gives that adverbial sense like we talked about. So you should interpret this whole phrase as an adverbial notion of result. The autou is much more interesting. I believe in my discussion yesterday, I spoke about how this referred back to sin. That's actually a mistake. And let me explain why. Technically, it's possible that this could refer to he hamartia. It could be something like constructio ad sensum, construction according to the sense. But if it did refer to he hamartia, we would expect it to be feminine, and it's not. It's either masculine or neuter. So let's take a look in the context and see where there is a word that it could refer to. If you go back to somate, that is neuter. So the best way to understand this is that the pronoun autou is neuter and refers back to somate. And so that fleshes out, no pun intended, the sense of the verse a bit more concretely. Sin must not reign in your mortal body, with the result that you obey its passions. Here, it would be the body's passions that we are obeying, not sin specifically. So I made a little bit of a mistake yesterday and didn't think it through super clearly, but this clarification helps us understand theologically what Paul is getting at, that sin reigns over our body such that we then obey its passions, whatever our body pushes us towards. That then is a nice counterpoint to the way Paul talks about how we need to submit the members of our body to God. So this is sort of a point and counterpoint. The point would be what we do wrong. We ultimately end up obeying our body's lusts, or its passions. And then the counterpoint is we need to present our members, the members of our body, back to God for instruments as righteousness. So to answer Jen's question, ta refers simply to the article, the infinitive. It substantizes it and makes it function properly in Greek. Whereas autou functions as a pronoun neuter referring back to somate. So sin motivates our body's passions, and we then obey them if we let sin reign in us. I hope that's helpful. If you need any further review on this, don't hesitate to respond to the email, and I hope you all have a great day.